Half it like and hello, it's full. Welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we'd zoned enough to keep them going. Our growth rate is slowing down slightly. We're still getting these dead bodies awaiting transport icons. People unhappy with the level of death care we've got going on, so we'll try and top up the services for people around here. Getting a graveyard, an elder care, and a child care centre. Find some nice spaces for them. Maybe getting a couple of post offices as well. Make sure the coverage for people is good. Just keep them out of the way of the residential. Keep them down where we know it's going to be covered with the commercial. Looks like we could get in a couple more high schools and elementary schools, so we'll find spaces for those. Want to get the area properly covered, so we'll have one on either side. Same with our elementary schools. Want to sort of spread out the coverage so it's sort of equidistant for all the kids to travel to school. Our high school here is not covered with the power, so we'll put in the elementary school next door. Maybe getting a couple more buildings along there to carry the power across if needs be. Having them next to each other helps for the libraries. So libraries have a certain radius of effect that gives a boost to the schools nearby. So if the high schools and the elementary schools are next to each other, that'll certainly help. Those two aren't in the radius, but the radius isn't very big, so we can come back in and pop more libraries in later down the line if we want to. For now, we'll just get everything topped up, get a few more parks in, get a few more of these health buildings in. We've got a few sick citizens, 37, coming down to 35. I would like to get that number down to 0. I think when we get to the stage putting monuments in the city, there's a medical monument that sort of ensures you get no sick citizens. But until then, we'll get a few medical things down. There seems to be an awful lot of complaints about death care. We're giving them more and more cemeteries, but they still seem to be complaining, so we can do about that. I don't think the traffic's a problem, that the hearses aren't getting places in time. It's maybe just the radius of effect. Maybe just haven't dotted them in about enough where we've got dense zoning. So we'll get the road network sort of finished off in this area. Would like to eventually sort of connect the zoning across, get everything connected up, one big patch, one collective city. We'll give these guys some more garbage services. They seem to be complaining about that. And a couple are complaining that they don't have enough customers. They certainly will do by the time we're finished putting in all the commercial. I think if we focus having a lot of industry here, all in one place, hopefully it'll be able to service all our commercial that we're going to put in. I don't know if they have a radius of effect of how far their lorries will travel with goods on them to the commercial. Certainly got plenty of space to sort of connect the two. The commercial along here. Oh, a lot of dead bodies. Can't give these guys enough cemeteries and crematoriums. At least the crematoriums are smaller, we can get them dotted in about all manner of places. Yeah, very strange. Seem to have a lot of people dying. Maybe just where we zoned a lot, all at the same time. It's like a death wave, you know? Yeah, we seem to be encountering a lot of death waves. Never mind, we'll soldier on. I'll give these a chance to come in and build their houses and their businesses and things. We'll drop them down a hospital. I haven't put down a hospital or medical clinics for a little while. Maybe that'll help with the health and death situation. I'll give it a chance to play out and let the simulation run. Look at a few cinematics in the meantime. Things generally seem to be well, apart from this one cargo station where we've got a small road. Seem to be a bit jammed up there, but we've let it run a while, but our population hasn't increased massively. The growth rate does seem to be slowing down a bit, but we've got some demand, so we'll get some zoning in. Try and connect up these areas, as I've said. Work our way along this way. Just need to be mindful about the distance. We'll have to have a layer of commercial between our residential and our industry. Keep all the houses away from the pollution. Give them this entire square's distance. I think that's appropriate. More than enough. Just need to fill things out. We've got all this with small roads already in, so yeah, that generally filled in with residential. Don't think we want to come all the way across here yet because we haven't got the small roads in. We'll just stick to this road and where we've got our small roads already placed. We'll get this whole area zoned off. Give them enough to keep going on with. Let it ride again. Ideally I would like it up to the sort of 350 population, but they seem to be slowing down, if not coming to a plateau or a halt, you know. Maybe pop in some more services or something for them, but they have most of everything we could give them. I guess they don't have a metro, so if we let it ride and we come back and there's not enough growth, then we can try maybe popping in the metro network. See if that makes them happy. Give them better connections. I guess we could fill in a little bit more of the industrial. Have it come out towards the rest of everything, so we can sort of meet up in the middle. Block zoned. Get a park in to try and minimize the pollution. Get another fire station for them. Should keep them happy. I think we need a couple more fire stations. Keep them on the edge of where we intend to have it in range of the industrial area. Say our trails reached level 4. We can place the hunting cabins, but because it's not on the water, we can't put any of the fishing assets down. maybe later on at the end of the playthrough we could make another nature reserve that is on the river. Could try and extend this one, but I think it would be a little awkward. So I'll bear that in mind for later on down the line. I think the zoo has that as well, as a water asset. I think the city park might have one as well, so maybe at some point we could make a lake or something similar. A feature where we could have all the different parks back to back, sort of around the edge of the lake maybe. That way we could place all these water assets. If we want to truly place, you know, a couple of copies of every asset in the game, or at least one of every asset in the game. There are a few variations that we would need to make accommodations for. Still got one more level to go on the Sailor Trails, so we will leave some space. We won't get everything filled in yet. Get another campsite in here, leaving enough space off the main trail, as it were. I'll get a few of the gaps filled in with a few more tents. Raise the appeal and capacity for visitors. But again, not overload it. It is supposed to be a place of relaxation. So hopefully that'll get up to level 5 soon enough. And that'll be all the park life stuff done. I think we'll have to wait for the end of the playthrough to finish off the Industries DLC stuff, because we'll still have one more unique factory place. That's the ship factory. Builds boats, so you have to place that on the shoreline. I've never used keys before, so quite keen to get down there and place keys. Where I've used this map before, I've just had the harbours sort of sitting on the shore, cutting into the land at whatever height I've placed them at. And that's, you know, varying results. A few wonky roads and strange hills. So I'll try to be a bit more canny with it this time, knowing what I know now. Smoother slopes, and if I get the key in, I think the assets snap to the keys, so we can place them better, the harbours and things like that. I also want to get all the water outlets placed down there, all our sewage outlets. Get a few of those eco treatment ones and get them placed actually going out into the sea. And that'll lower the level of our river, so we won't be putting things back into it, we'll only be getting water out of it. So we'll have to do a little bit of sort of terraforming around the river, but that's fine. If we're still playing by the time Sunset Harbour comes down in price, we can get the river a little bit more ready for fishing with those Sunset Harbour assets. Something we'd need to do in the long term anyway. So we'd have to unlock the squares to get down there. We're still a bit away from that. I'll let it ride again. Let them build in. Try not to overzone them. Stay just ahead of the demand, rather than annihilating it entirely. As I say, I would like to get closer to the 350,000. So we'll see how far they've come. Oh, not very far at all. Yeah, we seem to be sitting on the plateau. We've got our commercial coming in, but they're complaining they don't have enough workers, because the people haven't come in and used up all our residential yet. So there's a slight imbalance there. That's what happens when you zone too much, too quick all at the same time. But never mind. We soldier on. I'm going to extend this area out. Get more IT buildings in. There's not much you can do along next to the train tracks apart from industrial or offices, or you certainly can't put houses there for the noise. So I think it's nice to have the people on the train look out and see all these nice big buildings. And people can't see all the trains going past for the buildings. And people who live relatively nearby. So we could have industrial come along here, and then IT buildings for the rest of the way. And then we could remove the zoning where the roads are for when we want to extend the roads out, which we'll do at some point. Don't like demolishing buildings by running roads right through them. Feels like bad planning. So we'll get it zoned like that. We've still got this little gap. We've got a slight need for industrial, so try and zone it in with mainly industrial and offices. Again, give them enough to keep them going. It could be that our people are overeducated, because these commercial buildings want low-skilled workers. They're uneducated, so the office buildings, on the other hand, always want highly educated people. So if there's a problem that we do have enough workers, they just have the wrong level of education, then at least they'll easily find jobs over here, in these offices. Might be too much offices. Maybe too many, but again, we don't have a need for commercial, and so I don't want to put in too much of that either. I'm speaking about overzoning, but just zoning more and more. But at least it'll all be connected up when they eventually get their act in gear. We'll zone and give them an appropriate distance away from the residential. We'll get that filled in, and we'll leave it. Maybe replace a couple of these blocks. Instead of having offices, we'll have more industrial, just so we can keep up with the demand for products. As I've said, when you're putting in a lot of commercial, you need the industrial to back it up. Keep the products flowing for the people that come and buy. Get this little block extended out as well. Just so we can fully get all the zoning connected up. Just wrap the industrial with a bit of commercial. Keep everyone outside the area nice and safe from the pollution and hazardous material and noise and such. Getting a couple of parks. Again, just to sort of line the area, keep the pollution away. This one's a nice size, sort of fills up that gap. See if we can get another one over here. It's about the same size as the high school. Get another library in. Try and get that coverage good. Yeah, it's likely the problem is the wrong level of education rather than lack of workers. what we'll do is we'll get our metro network extended, get a tube running around here. Got stations that we've previously placed ready to get hooked up, so we'll get a station in between here and there, and we'll get it hooked up with the metro tunnels, and we'll get our lines set up. Nice curves, no sharp lines. Get the trains around nice and easy and fast. When they have to go around crazy angles, they slow down, so it's great to have move it to sort of tweak everything, tweak all the curves, make sure it's all nice and neat. Maybe use up some more of this space. We're on our way to getting all of our unique buildings unlocked. Got a few workshop things that we could place. Remember years ago, this was a large tower, you know. There's so many larger things in the game now. Like even the Green City's tall residential buildings are taller than it, so yeah, back in the day it was glorious. Now it's pretty much obsolete. But oh well. I still like it, still play with it. Still got a few more things to pop in, so this little crossroads is a good place where we've got a station, a metro station with nothing interesting there. We want to get the fusion power plant. That's going to be the first monument that we want to deal with all our power issues, so we don't need to put in any more power stations. So we'll specifically try and target the unique buildings that help us on the way to unlock that. Have a little bit more tourist stuff and entertainment stuff around it as well. Getting a few car parks for them. Make sure there's sort of ample spaces for all the visitors, whether they be locals or tourists. And we'll get our little districts painted in. Because we've got massive sort of focused areas for tourism and entertainment, I don't think we need much more. We've already achieved the unlocks that we needed to by getting sort of 5,000 squares of each placed. We've already got that, so we don't need to go overboard. Just make these relatively small districts. We'll extend our fancy housing zoning out. Tidy this up a little bit. Extend our zoning up into here. Again, I'm over zoning. But hey ho, setting it up so we can let it roll. Hopefully with these extra unique buildings in the metro line, this can make a difference and get them out of their slump. Get more people back in again. And get a little bit more zoning in. There's not much time left to go, so let's get a few more streets zoned in and we'll call it a day. And we want to try and protect our residents' ears by putting in some light commercial in between them and the heavier stuff. There's an extra layer of protection away from the industrial as well. This area just get filled in. They're low density residential. The lining's already been established for us. Could do with just getting some demand back up. Rolling again towards our 500,000 target. Well, we'll come back next time and press on. Until then, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.